Is the Bitcoin price ready for a massive move to the downside? Well, this trader is actually predicting that we are going to crash lower. And as well, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, is predicting a $1 million Bitcoin by 2030. In this video, I will tell you guys why I think this is probably not going to be the case, but it is going to be a very, very close call with this prediction, because I actually think it's going to be in 2032. So let's dive straight into the video. This is going to be quite an exciting video because the Bitcoin price is currently moving to the downside. As you guys know, I'm still up here $677,000 here, trading Bitcoin right over here on leverage on the future contracts. My Ethereum position is still doing absolutely fine. I'm still up here over 1,000%, and as you guys can actually see here, I basically went long here exactly on the bottom. If the exchange can actually load, I don't think it's even loading. Okay, well, great. Okay, let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. Anyway, I closed my last position on $650,000, as you guys can actually remember. Currently, we're up $680,000, so it's just over $1 million here in profits, kind of totally combined. And I'm still going to continue to hold this trade. I'm not looking to cash this out. I think, yes, I will talk a little bit about the bearish scenario in this video. Yes, we might get a little bit of a crash to the downside. But if I do actually get stopped out, I probably just would enter a little bit lower. I mean, we're still in a bull run. We've set higher lows every single time. And yes, these corrections where we just come down a little bit, they happen over and over again. But that's fine. Every single time we've recovered. And we still have a couple months left here before eventually we're going to see here the autumn high here. As well, we are currently around the 7 hours. So if we are indeed going to pump it further to the upside, and we still do have enough momentum, this is going to be probably the level where we are going to be pumping here further to the upside. What I've also talked about is this exact scenario where you're going to have kind of a move right over here to the downside below these lows, as you can see over here, where you're going to stop out these longs and then recover back to the upside. We've kind of seen this exact pattern over and over again, and right as well, you can see something very similar. You're going to move into the 7 hour and then get a massive move here to the upside. So, if this is going to be the case, then yeah, you might slightly move it to the downside, slightly move below this low, but then pump to the upside. If we are going to go below this low right over here, and then just quickly have a V-shape here back to the upside, and kind of breaking here this downward trend line, kind of moving back here to, let's say, $116,000, maybe $117,000, it's likely that this is going to be momentum, just kind of pull here further to the upside. So that's something to watch here. Yeah, well, this person over here is saying that we're going to get a bigger correction to the downside, where you're kind of seeing the same thing over and over again, where you have a big move, kind of correction, and then a new high. This would not be too wrong, in my opinion. The thing is, it's kind of becoming a little bit tight here with the end of the year. So 2026, kind of at the start of that, we probably are really going to have our autumn high. So I would say somewhere around November, I think we're going to get an autumn high, which is somewhere around here, around this blue line. So I don't think we're going to have really the time to really go lower and then just go sideways again and then just do something like this magically. What I would say that we're probably still going to pump it to the upside. Just in my opinion, we're going to go have a puller to the downside and then recover it quickly to the upside and then still go sideways a little bit higher, kind of then get a correction and then go to $200,000 hour. Basically our long-term target here that I've been talking about in many of our videos. I mean, we're coming very close to it right now, so it's, I think, just again a matter of time before we're going to be hitting that. So yeah, I would still keep this long position open. If we do go a little bit lower, and as I said, I would probably get stopped out here on this position. But in that case, yeah, I would probably just kind of wait for a bounce, you know, exit it on like a small loss or break even and just keep my Ethereum position rolling and just wait for a little bit of a lower level and just kind of re-enter my position there. But anyway, if something does change, I will actually post it inside my VIP group, which is completely for free to join, by the way. All you have to do to join is just sign up over here on the Blofin exchange, right over here by clicking the link in the description. Then just fill in your email, your password, deposit here, and you can also sign up over here with Google, and then just send me a DM with your user ID here, right over here on Telegram, and I will actually add you here to the private VIP channel, where I will actually be posting my trades as I did here last time as well. So if you want to join that, then just follow those steps, and just don't send me a DM with any other crap, because I'm not going to add you if you don't actually follow those steps. Anyway, moving forward here, what we also have here from this kind of person, this is called Merlijn the Trader, which I presume is a Dutch guy. I assume it's a Dutch guy. He lives in the moon. I don't know where that is, but he looks very Dutch. Anyway, he's basically pointing out that we're basically in this upwards channel that we did back in 2020 as well, where we had this big breakout to the upside. I can kind of remember that back in the time. That is not actually a completely wrong call. The only problem is that the 2021 happened exactly at the start of the bull run, and this one happens a little bit later. But yeah, what we could actually have here, which is something to talk about, is that if we do get this quick puller to the upside, you could potentially say that this is kind of a little bit of a rising channel. And then if that would break to the upside, that would be quite hyper bullish for Bitcoin, because that will basically mean that you're probably going to start seeing like a rapid increase of price, probably to the 200K level, which is the exact, you know, level that we have talked about here in many of our videos. So you could have kind of an upwards kind of wedge that breaks out to the upside. That would be hyper bullish. I've seen it before. You know, as I say, one of these examples is here, where you break the wedge here to the upside. You generally get a big movement in the Bitcoin price, and if that actually happens, then yeah, I think you probably would see like next month or the month after next month, so October, probably the all-time high. So that would be something quite bullish. Yeah, if the momentum does actually pick up, it's not really that completely bad of a call. And then again, we would probably get here inside this red area. Now, talking about the last thing, this is from Brian Armstrong saying that we're going to see 1 million Bitcoin by 2030. And as I said here, I think it's a little bit too soon. I think in 2030, we're going to see, according here again to the Bitcoin rainbow wave, it's going to be about 500,000. So 2029 at the end of it, you know, 500K. And then actually, if we do actually come back here, 2030, you'd see $250,000 for Bitcoin. And then in 2033, 2034, somewhere around that level, then you might see like a $1 million Bitcoin. And then eventually you're probably going to see a 2 million. So that is kind of what I think. I mean, I'm going to be old. I'm probably going to have kids at that point in time. I mean, I'm going to be 33 at that point in time, which isn't too old. But yeah, then I think we're going to have that Bitcoin hit 1 million. So we're still going to have to wait a couple of these cycles. I think next cycle, 500,000 is going to be great as well. But these people are very hyper bullish, but they don't really base it on anything. They're just like, oh, I feel based on my magic ball that it's going to go to 1 million. That's not how the Bitcoin price works. It generally just kind of follows these kind of trends, these flows here. And again, I would say that eventually we are going to hit it, but I'd say that's still going to take 3 more years than what he's actually predicting. So anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. Again, if you want to join the VIP channel completely for free, sign up here with Blofin, deposit, and set me your user ID, and I will actually add you here to the private channel right over here after you sent me a DM. So anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.